In the harsh lands of 1878 New Mexico, a shy farmer lived a life of silence, until one evening, an Apache woman stepped onto his farm with a request that shook his world. She didn't ask for help. She asked for a child, and the reason behind her words would change both of their lives forever. Now let's get started. Like, share, and subscribe, and tell us where you are watching from. Elias Turner had lived most of his 30 years in silence, tending his lonely patch of farmland in the New Mexico territory. The year was 1878, and the land around him stretched wide and empty, broken only by the distant shadows of mesas and the soft rustle of sagebrush. Elias was a shy man, gentle in manner and slow in speech. Folks in the nearest town said he preferred the company of soil over people, and they were right. He woke with the dawn, worked through heat and dust, and returned each evening to a cabin too quiet for comfort. On a late summer afternoon, as the sun lowered and cast long shadows over the barn, Elias heard the crunch of footsteps on dry earth. He knew the sound was not his mule, nor any wandering cow. Turning, he froze. A tall Apache woman stood at the edge of his yard, her figure sharp against the red cliffs. Her braided hair brushed her shoulders, and her eyes, dark, unwavering, studied him with the calm confidence of one who feared nothing in this world. Elias had seldom spoken to Apache people, though he'd seen them from a distance while riding to town. Yet this woman walked forward with steady steps, neither threatening nor hesitant. She introduced herself as Nalin. Her voice was deep and smooth, carrying both strength and a quiet sadness that Elias couldn't name. She did not allow time for pleasantries or questions. Instead, she spoke a sentence so unexpected that Elias felt the ground tilt beneath him. "I want a child from you," she said, each word clear as crystal water. The air seemed to still. Elias blinked, sure he'd misheard. A request like that, direct, bold, didn't belong in his world of shy nods and soft-spoken greetings. But Nalin did not flinch. She explained that war, sickness, and hunger had taken many of her people. Her small band was gone, scattered by soldiers and storms alike. She remained but alone. Her ancestors' stories, songs, and bloodline balanced on the edge of disappearance. She needed a child, someone who could carry forward what was left of her people, even if he grew between two worlds. Elias felt his heart pound as he listened, torn between confusion and something deeper, an ache he had long ignored. He had lived alone for so many years that the thought of being needed by anyone startled him. He studied Nalin's face, seeing not desperation but determination born from loss. She stood tall, a warrior seeking survival through the gentlest path left open to her. Elias swallowed hard, understanding the weight of her request, even if he did not yet know how to answer it. Elias stood inside his cabin long after Nalin finished speaking, his hands trembling slightly as he set a pot of water on the stove. He offered her food, simple cornbread and beans, and she accepted with a quiet nod. For a while, neither spoke. The fire cracked softly, while dust whirled outside the window. Elias kept glancing at her, unsure what to say to a woman who had come with such a powerful request. But the more he watched her, the more he noticed her exhaustion, the weight in her shoulders, and the way her eyes shifted as if carrying memories too heavy for words. As they ate, Nalin finally began to explain her story in fuller detail. Her voice remained steady, but Elias could hear where the strength thinned. She told him of raids, of soldiers burning villages, of families who scattered into the mountains. She spoke of a winter where hunger stole more lives than bullets did. Elias listened closely, each sentence cutting deeper than the last. He realized that she hadn't come to him because he was special or strong. She had come to him because she saw kindness in his silence, and kindness was rare in a world filled with fear. That night, Elias offered her a place to sleep, laying out blankets by the fireplace. He paced the room after she closed her eyes, wrestling with thoughts he had never faced before. He was a lonely farmer, shy with words and uncertain in most things. How could he possibly carry the responsibility she asked of him? Yet another part of him whispered that perhaps this was the first time someone had truly needed him, not for crops or trade, but for something deeply human. As he stood watching the flames, he felt a quiet sense of courage growing inside him, small but undeniable. By morning, the land was cool and washed in soft golden light. Nalin rose early, helping him carry water and feed the animals without being asked. Elias found himself watching her move across his farm, noticing how naturally she stepped into the rhythm of the place. When the moment finally came, he approached her with a heart pounding like a drum. "If this is truly what you want," he said softly, "I will stand with you." Nalin met his gaze with a gratitude that needed no words. It was not romance that moved them forward, but a shared understanding. Two wounded souls choosing to build something where life had been broken. Months passed, and the two worked the land together, their days shaped by labor and their nights by slow conversations. Elias learned her language little by little. She learned his stories with patient interest. As autumn arrived, Nalin carried the child she had hoped for. The cabin felt warmer now, filled with a sense of purpose neither had known before. In the quiet of winter, as snow settled gently, outside Elias realized he had gained more than he had given. In choosing to help Nalin save her people's legacy, he had found a family of his own, one born not of chance, but courage.